Hello, beautiful people, future me. You know what's up. It's time for my training, so let's get into it. Ah, come on. Ha! That's not past that sign goes. Okay. I did something. 9% 42. Oh well. 63. That's good for me. Recovering from rejection. Alright. Our catch complex gets the rejection reason as an argument. They also can return values which will become regular fulfilled promises. Oh. So promise, reject, then we catch, that will be fulfilled. They can also return values which will become recurrent. We did this already, didn't we? So this will be fulfilled, not enough memory. So this is explanation length, fulfilled, and this will be 5. Normal JavaScript code. After try catch, block runs normally. The exception was handled, so execution continues as normal. Cool. So throw error or new, we got to the end. Okay, so this will be fulfilled. I got the end. But this example doesn't return, yeah. Oops. 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 Promises catch work in the same way. But then after the catch, don't need to know that the rejection happened. Any value returned by the catch is passed to the next then. So error, we will return oh no, and then we will have fulfilled length 5. We already seen what happens when promise rejects with an error object. Execute program converts the error into a string. The final result is something like, yeah, we saw that. But that's only a convenience, so you can type the reasons in your prompts inside the JavaScript code. The full reason object is always visible even if it's an error. Inside the JavaScript code, the full reason object is always visible. So that will not be just the string, it will be the entire object. Here is multi-part series of examples where we can reject with multiple different errors. We'll inspect those rejection reasons inside the catch and take different actions depending on what we see. First, the function below can throw 2 different errors. It doesn't involve promises at all. Get user. If it's undefined, user now gets array. And it's gets user length. It's user has no cuts, and we return user cuts if there's no problem. Okay, continue. Now we write a higher level function. I would throw out the if else blocks in there. That would be much readable. Well, if the else I would throw out, it will be if user cuts equals undefined, strictly undefined, then I will throw, then I would have another if, and then I would just return. That would be how I would do it. A little bit more readable, I think. Hmm. But this might be better if this line does something expensive, like takes long time or whatever. And so this will, well, this will never evaluate. If this is thrown, this will not get executed. Yeah, so still I will have if, and just return. Now we write a higher level function that users get user cats but returns a promise. This is analogous to making an API request, sure. When get user cats throw the user has zero cats error, will catch it and fulfill with undefined, but if it throws other errors we don't expect, like user has no cats array, will pass error along. That error isn't supposed to happen and indicates a bug. So we want to let it fail. Okay, so we have a get gets promise. Then we have a promise resolve. Why do you have like this resolve? Why don't you just promise that then? Well, I have to. It wouldn't be resolved. Okay. Or we could do it synchronously in the constructor. Okay, so it is returning a promise. We have dot then. Well, we will have to resolve it anyway. So maybe this is just shorter to write because the other way to do it would be what? So we'll catch the reason. If reason.match message is that, we will return undefined, else we throw reason. Huh. Okay. So get that. Well, but this is kind of interesting. Well, how else could we do it? We can have a return new promise, and then on that we will have dot resolve. Can we put it inside of there already? Maybe. Well, let's move on. Surely we'll see it once again. Finally, we call the function with some different users. One has cat, one has no cats, and one contains a bug. There is no cats property at all. No cats, okay. So this one has one, so we will get, what do we get? User cat, so we will get that array. So we will get it fulfilled, I think. Do we have like wait or something? No. Throw new return user cats. Okay, and then we'll resolve it. We'll call get user cats on a user, and we will We'll just return the promise, so it will be fulfilled, and inside there will be this array. Now we have an emir with cuts none, so we will get fulfilled undefined. Oh, I have to fill it in. Fulfilled undefined, like so. And now this one does not have defined the cats, so this will throw an error, and the error would be we'll throw the, and it was user has no cats array. So it will be this, and it will be rejected. Rejected, and here it will be error, our string. Here we go. Yay! Correct, correct! Bravo, bravo! For our application, it's important to handle these two error cases differently. An empty cats array is an expected case, but a user with no cats property at all is a bug. If we blindly returned all rejected promises into undefined, then we silently allow the bug to happen. The general rule is handle the most specific type of error that you expect and rethrow any other errors that you see. However, there is one problem with code above. We inspect the error message directly, like if reason message equals exactly something. Our code could be better if we defined our own error class, then checked for it with instance of, but JavaScript class system and instance of are out of scope for this course. Okay, so I will have instance of, and that would be like some my new error, my error. So we will have created the errors, right? Find own error class, yeah. So then I can do the instance of. Here's code for you to complete. This code's rejection reason is an object with a message property. It's not a JavaScript error. It's just a regular object. Add a catch to catch the rejection and return the error message. Yes, sir. Promise dot catch, and then we say reject reason, they call it. We take in the reason. Yeah, I don't need this, and here we will return reason dot message. I'll close it, run it, and it works. Hooray, hooray, hooray! I understand it. You see? Here's a slight variation on that. Instead of fulfilling with the error message, we want to turn the message into a proper error object. Instead of fulfilling with error message, okay, so that's what we did. We want to turn the message into proper error object. So it will be fulfilled, and here the object instead of that. Here's code program for you to complete. This code's rejection reason is an object with a message property. add a catch to catch the rejection, then rethrow a proper error that contains the message. Okay, so we will have a catch and we take the reason and we we throw oh new error, and in the constructor we put reason dot message like so. Syntax error, invalid or unexpected token. Maybe that should be in the curlies. Yep. And we finished the lesson. Bah, 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 bah. Alright, promise states. Here we go. So far, we've seen fulfilled and rejected promises. Okay, so what is it? Promise states. Promise states. Okay, so we know it's fulfilled, rejected, pending. They said some resolve. So this will be fulfilled. Okay. So then we have a rejected. Oh no. We also know that promises can take time to fulfill, like in the next example. So we have setting the timer, that will be the one result. Then we have the set timeout, and we call, yeah, so this is it takes some functions. The first one is the resolve function, so we do the resolve. If we put into resolve something, but it will be returned. Oh, that's mindfucking. But I understand it now. So it waits for a second and then it will look fulfilled. Okay. hmm For those thousands or so milliseconds, 1090 in my case, the promise wasn't fulfilled. It was pending. That's the third and final state of promises. They can be pending. Okay, so there's a three of them, right? There's a fulfilled, rejected, and pending. Fulfilled with a value or rejected with a reason. They can be pending, fulfilled with a value, or rejected with a reason. Okay. If you create a pending promise directly in your browser's console, you'll see something like this. New promise, result, don't call resolve, and the result is open curly pending, true. No, it's, what the hell is that? The angled brackets. Lesser greater. Unlike fulfilled and rejected promises, execute program itself has no way to directly show a pending promise. This is the only lesson in the course where it would be useful. Okay. However, with a bit of instrumentation, we can observe a pending promise indirectly. Here's an example that tracks a promise state over time. It tracks the promise's state in the state variable, recording the state in the state history array after every second. Okay, so what do we got? State history is an array, and we have a let state pending and let resolve. Okay, so we have a new promise, create a promise and store its resolve function. Yeah, so we take the resolve, store it into variable which we created over here. In here, then we have a then, and we set the state to fulfilled. The state is here. Okay, so pending. Okay, so they created with pending, then after then, yeah, fulfilled, and we are waiting for this many milliseconds, 1.5, and we set free timeout. And that is the state history push state right now, after second, after 2 seconds. So it should be pending, uh, pending, and fulfilled, I believe. So so it will be pending, pending, fulfilled. Da 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 da. Yay! Oh, it's good. We are good. In an earlier lesson, we saw that promise.resolve can create rejected promises. Yeah, this is why it's not named promise.fulfill. In the next example, the promise created with promise.resolve is pending for about 1 second before it rejects. It's never fulfilled at any point, okay? Sure, so we will have rejected, it failed. Oh, error. This is how we show errors in here. Finally, we can step back and list the rules for promise states. Okay, so a promise can be pending, fulfilled with a value, or rejected with a reason. Pending promises can become fulfilled or rejected. Okay, once promise is fulfilled or rejected, it stays in that state forever. Resolved isn't a promise state. The resolve method means create new promise from the given value, which may be another promise. Create new promise from given value, from the given value, which may be another promise. So this we do inside of the promise, right? And we can do it outside of it as well. So, and what do I mean by it? It means that I can either have it in here or somewhere in here. It could be as well. There was a promise.resolve, and they are different in some way. Here we go. Here. See, promise.resolve. Create a new with fulfilled promise with a value OK. And here we have a reject, and that promise.reject means create a new promise with instead of rejected with the reason oh no. Okay. In real world discussion of promises, it's common for people to say resolved when they mean fulfilled. For example, the promise resolved with value 5. Okay. As of early June of 2020, when we are first writing this lesson, Google Chrome even make this mistake. Here's what we actually see in Chrome console. Promise resolve 5. Resolved. Okay. Almost want to make a screenshot. How bad it is. This was fixed, but hasn't yet been released as we write this. Okay. That's good. So it's always in the angle brackets, I guess, in the Chrome. Let's verify this. I will open a console and I say console. console. So you clear this, and let's say promise dot resolve 5, sure, let's go, and oh, now it's fulfilled. Okay, so um, this was fixed, but as we write this, for information. Fix has been released. Is it already? Send feedback. Thank you. In this course, we've been careful to avoid saying resolved when we mean fulfilled. Mixing them up can lead to confusion, especially when discussing the promise promise.resolved method. However, if we are being honest, saying resolved instead of fulfilled is relatively harmless once you understand promises. Relatively, which means very. Okay, and I finish this guy. That's awesome. That's awesome. And also we are over the time limit, which means we are done. Done is better than perfect, and I will see you next time. Bye.